What's up, guys? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another YouTube video. This is exercise 21 of our Python exercise tutorial series. From this exercise onwards, that is exercise 21 onwards until further notice, we will be working with if-else statement exercises in the Python programming language. Without any further ado, let's get to it. Okay, we have exercise 21. Write a Python program that reads in an integer from the user. Then, your program should display a message indicating whether the integer is even or odd. Okay, guys, so looking at this program, we see that it is nothing too difficult, quite interesting, a fun exercise overall. So, essentially, what they require from us is to have a Python program that reads in input one time. Specifically, it's going to read in an integer from the user. And then using some if-else statements and some decision making, our program should have the ability to print a message that tells the user whether the integer that they entered is even or odd. Okay, so let's talk about the program logic before we actually start coding. So you know that all numbers can be either classified as even or odd. Now, what makes an even number is the fact that if I take any number and if I divide it by 2 and the remainder is 0, it does qualify to be called an even number. Okay, for example, if I have the number 10 and I divide it by 2 and the remainder is 0, I can call it an even number. So 10 divided by 2 is 5 and there is a remainder of 0. This means that 10 is actually an even number, and we know that that is actually true. 10 is an even number. So now, on the contrary, if I take any whole number and if I divide it by 2 and the remainder is 1, that means I'm dealing with an odd number. For example, if I take the number 13 and I divide it by 2, that's going to give me 6, but there is a remainder of 1. So now that tells me that whatever number I am dealing with qualifies to be called an odd number. And this is true because 13 is an odd number. So I do hope that that program logic makes sense to you. Okay, so with that, let us now code our problem. So now I will begin by setting up a variable calling it number. Int input, please enter your number. That's good. The user is going to be shown this prompt for input and they will enter a value. They'll go ahead and enter any integer that they want. So now it's up to us to integrate proper logic behind the scenes that's going to execute and analyze whether this is an even number or an odd number. So based on what we spoke about regarding the division and the remainder being 0 or 1, let us proceed to use that logic to distinguish between even and odd numbers. So essentially we are looking at the remainder of the division process. Now in Python there's an arithmetic operator called modulus. Modulus will return to us the remainder of a division operation. So if number modulus 2 is equals to 1, take a moment to understand this line, the simple condition. Number modulus 2 is equals to 1. That this tells us, right? This little condition enclosed within the brackets tells us that if I take number and if I divide it by 2 and the remainder is equals to 1, right? So that's what it's saying. Then automatically we know that we are dealing with an odd number because the remainder was 1. That number could not get divided by 2 entirely. It returned to us a remainder of 1. So I can tell the user print your number is odd, or let's say this is an odd number, else print this is an even number. That's good. I do hope that this makes sense to you. If the number is not odd, it has to be an even number. Okay, let's proceed to run this script. Please enter your number. Let's do a large number, maybe 5001. Press enter. Yes, excellent. And it tells me this is an odd number. On the other hand, if I run the script and let's pass in a very large even number. So let's do any random values and press enter, and excellent. The program has recognized this as an even number. And with that, we've reached the end of exercise 21 in our Python exercise tutorial series. I do hope that you found this video interesting and insightful. And with that, good luck with your work, and I will see you in the next YouTube video.